Hey Cancer, welcome to my channel. This is your June reading. Totally said different to what I was going to say, but I just started the reading and called you Pisces instead of Cancer, so I've already reset the once. Oh, you've got the card that's on the box. Um, cool. Actually, all of these, I've had that one for another sign, but the other two are new. All of these decks that I'm using today for is Cancer. I'm going to have to keep reminding myself Cancer, not Pisces. Are new. I'm using for the first time for these readings, including the tarot. So I'm using 3 decks. The tarot has a nice little story to it. That one. I bought a deck for my mum for Mother's Day, and both of those ones. It ended up not being what I ordered. So I basically what I ordered. The name was what the box is, but the imagery was not what I thought. So the imagery was different. I thought I was buying the image, what was in the imagery, but it was just the wrong deck. Basically, it's titled wrong. So what I got was the title. So that didn't fit for the gifting purpose. Okay. But when I opened them, I thought, intriguing. It's not what I would normally go for. But I opened them, and it just felt right. Like, these are for me. So now they're mine, but they're very different to my usual aesthetic. They're kind of yellow on the outside, but they just feel so nice. Like, look, they're quite smoothly. I like it. Something new, something different. Sometimes something unexpected works out in the best way, and I love that. Okay, Cancer. So we're starting off with Shine Your Light, Light and Dark Light. And this is paired with Magical Manifestation. So, this Shine Your Light, I kind of feel as though it's realizing that all aspects of you is a light of some form, yeah? So even your shadow self, as I usually say an analogy when it comes down to shadow work, you wouldn't have the good without the bad. The shadow side of yourself is, it's kind of like a mirror image. I'm not getting out the words in the same way that I mean it for some reason. It's just not coming to me. It's not coming out. I just kind of get this sense of like, you need to realize that your whole package is an asset to you. It's like being authentically you, really. And that really feels as though this is something like in a place where you are right now, about being whole, being full, and being full of potential, actually. I'm definitely grounded right now, which is really good. Magical manifestations, I feel as though because you're in this grounded state, that it is helping you to be in a place where you are manifesting, it's kind of like as though you're manifesting your desires at kind of a rapid pace, actually, as I say that. I'm getting this kind of smoky aspect, as though it's kind of like if you breathe it out, it will be. So be mindful of what you are creating, Cancer, because it kind of feels as though it's so easy for you to create what it is that you desire during this time. Then make sure that you are breathing out in alignment with what it is that you truly want right now. And know that you are an embodiment of what you are creating. Okay, interesting. We have Page of Pentacles being the first in reverse. I feel like you have everything already. What this card is telling me really is just what I just said. Kind of in the whole, you have everything you need already, and that you are manifesting that you don't need to reach out externally, I guess. I feel as though you don't need to explore too far, and I'm going to say it like this because it's how it's coming through to me. You don't need to explore far into the field in order to get what you need. So to me, that is saying that you really are so close to what it is that you're seeking, that you don't need to go on a journey in order to find that. So that's cool. We have the Hangman in reverse. So again, I feel like you are exactly where you need to be. Let me have a look. When I read this card from this deck, I read it differently, and it's giving me different vibes for you. I can definitely feel like you are kind of It's like you are tied in both these. So I will show you the Hangman in the imagery. I don't know what you can see. Like the sun is literally directly in my eyes in front of us. So I am blind right now. I can see when I look down at the deck, but when I look forward, I can't see what you see. So I apologize if you really cannot see anything. I think the shadows and the light, and yeah, I don't think you can see anything. Okay, that's not gonna work. But basically, both of these imageries, in the one with the shine your light, she's kind of an extension. Like the dress she's wearing is the same color as the tree behind her, and it's like the root of the tree connects and comes into her dress. And then here in the Hanged Man, he is hanging obviously from a tree as the traditional imagery. What he is dangling from, it's like a snake holding him. Obviously I'm looking at it in reverse, so the tree branches themselves flow down, and he is attached to those branches. And what I'm seeing is similar imagery here of the feeling as though the wisdom within you is connected to you. It's like, the roots of the tree are connected to you and the branches of the tree. That to me would signify wisdom, along with the snake aspect of this card in this imagery as well. This is also wisdom. So I feel as though it's all with you. And again, in a time of grounding, this is a very good sign as well. I feel like you need to open up your eyes to the fact that everything is within grasp. So if you are feeling a little bit like, I want to say unsure of how things are manifesting or how things are kind of gonna come into fruition in your life, I feel as though it's like just open your eyes, in other words, give it some attention, and I guess kind of look a little deeper into your situation and realize that I am closer to what it is that I desire than I realize, and maybe actually closest to what is manifesting you. It's a fly, we're good. I'm outside dealing with the elements. I saw an eagle on the walk home, actually. I saw that as a good sign. Okay. Let the past die. Interesting. This is the card which is on the imagery on the box. I'm using the box as a mic stand. This is the card that's on the imagery. It's like, oh, it's on the box. It's paired with the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So you are definitely getting all of that. You are powerful, and being in a very powerful period of time for you, Cancer. I'm actually really loving this. You are the power, really. Throughout this is what it's saying. And it's definitely a magical reading, this. Very spiritual, very much connecting with the moon throughout this as well. We have this manifesting one with magical manifest, to then have the raven with the past lives, and we have Luna. We've got a lot of moon here, and ancestors as well. Ancestors and apples is coming forward. We'll get to that when we get to it. But I'm just seeing a lot of this connected to the divine for you, Cancer. So it's a very spiritual time, very powerful time. With the let the past die, I would say I feel like you are very connected to your ancestors. If you practice mediumship, it could be a time of growth or any time of spiritual growth as well. And this card can represent. Let's go into that. Letting the past die, I would say that anything in your past no longer serves you now. It's time to fully release that. I do feel like, Cancer, this is something that we have touched on for at least 2 years with you. And I do feel like you've been going through this shedding period of time. And this is it. I feel like you're coming to the end of this, and it's finally time to let that part of your life shed from you finally and freely. And again, using your power, the maiden, the mother, and the crone, it's harnessing all that you have, all that you've learnt, all that you know, and using that in your life to create. I keep thinking, like, it's like creating a home I'm getting here, like creating the home life that you would desire, or creating, and with the home, it can mean stability, security, something that, and again, we are in a time where Taurus is in Uranus. It's all about working towards our independence with our personal values, and that differs from person to person. But Cancer, I feel like for you, you are really focusing upon some kind of security in an area of your life that has felt ungrounded for some time, and it's like now, kind of, I feel, taking that turn. Do we have? No, we don't have that card. Taking that turn where it is coming to fruition. So you're doing that remaining, shredding, and bringing it into reality. We have the Queen of Swords and the Star card, so definitely dreamy energy. Let's have a look what this is giving me for you. Interesting pairing. You definitely need to be channeling something. Something, I feel like here you need to be trusting your heart and trusting what you desire and want. Again, astrologically, that is exactly what you're being urged to do anyway. But I get this sense of you needing to channel something through you. Again, following your heart comes through. I would say this is like a balance of flow of emotions here, but the star is kind of giving me. But it's not so much to that extent as more, I feel again, it's more heart centered. With the star energy, this is generally, make a wish, dream big. It can also be, in some ways, bringing something from kind of the my words are not coming to me right now. Like the non-physical realm is how I'm going to say it. It's because I can't find my words. Sorry, it's like ADHD thing. From the non-physical world into the physical world. Put words up for me, please. And bringing it in. And it's like really, I feel this is your power. And I said this at the beginning, and this is what I'm feeling. Like it's your power to do this. And I feel like it starts with, again, following your heart and going for what you want. And this being the time for that. We have the Page of Cups. You're definitely on a journey. And again, this would be me saying you're putting in the work to do just that and to take the steps and take the climb that you need to get where you want to be. And reaping the rewards from that. This could be very much going with water energy as well. So this being in your sign is a very good sign. I have actually been reading the Page of Cups as kind of very much water energy. I know technically it is, but just more so as a very positive for the water signs for this month. It just gives me this kind of flowing and in tune with yourself. And when we're in tune with our emotions and in tune with our emotional self, really the rest falls into place. I feel like this is a part that remains stagnant these days. And for you, I feel like it is not hindering you. It is very much pushing you and flowing the way it should be, which is what we like to hear. That's what we want to hear. Next we have, again, this lunar strength. This is lunar magic, so moon magic, and ancestors and apples. These two together. I've got all these flies around me. It's because I'm sat next to a bee's nest somewhere around here. I got stung here when I was trimming the hedges, and they often fly around here, and they're really big horny things, and their sting really hurts. And I think that's why I'm very like, oh, something's flying near me. Which is the shadows you're seeing is actually the sun setting, and all this little hedge here is just the little hedge that you're seeing as the sun goes down. And this lunar strength, I'm really drawn to the flowers on this imagery. I will see if you can see it. I don't know what you can see, but you may be able to see the flowers. I think you can. I can vaguely see it in the reflection of the camera. I'm very drawn to those. I'm kind of feeling as though, again, getting outside under the moon and following the cycles of the moon. We have a lot of magic here. I mean, the maid, the mother, and the crone. This is all about our magic and getting out under the moon, under the stars. That can really enhance our psychic gifts, and I'm getting the sense, Cancer, that you have a lot of that going on at the moment. It's definitely some of you here are having some real potential and growth in terms of our gifts. So again, if you do practice mediumship, this may be something that will benefit you. And staying grounded in that is really, really a positive, and we start off in this grounding space, and that's why I think you're having this really good rippling effect in terms of gifts. So yeah, keep that in mind. I do get this sense of you being supported. I feel like it's time for you to be your wild and free self as well, and bringing that into your reality. I get this sense of maybe of being reserved and controlled previously to this, and I mean more like not externally, like you've been in very much in control of yourself, keeping yourself, maybe you've had aspirations and you're like, I need to be all serious about this, and I feel like you've not allowed yourself to be free, and I feel like right now is exactly what you should be doing, the exact opposite to what you maybe have used as a mechanism for yourself to get you to where you're going to be. I feel like you need to release something and let yourself go. Oh, fly went up my nose. Because I feel as though you are supported enough by, again, if you've had to be, for example, the man of the house, whether you're male or female, I feel like now you might have a partner, or your partner might be in a place that they are able to take on that role a little bit more so that you are able to be a bit flexible with that. Just ignore me whacking things away. Um, this paired with ancestors and apples, immediately I just get this kind of being connected to your ancestry, and nourishing things. I feel as though this is where you should be looking instead of looking to your past here, like let the past die. I feel like this is like let things in your life go that don't serve you anymore, and how about you reconnect with us? I feel as though there's wisdom from your ancestors again coming to you, and this is what I get by this spiritual growth thing here. And definitely elementals as well. This could be something to do with nature. I don't think I said that to you yet about getting outdoors. And again, harnessing magic is getting outdoors. I do feel like under the moon is a really good thing, but just being outside anyway, like going on a hike or walk along the beach, whichever one suits you. Just getting outside and allowing nature to heal you as well could be a really beneficial thing for you. We have Six of Wands. You do have actually a lot of cards that have come out in pairs, which is interesting. Yeah, what's up? As soon as I finish this one, I'll come back in, okay? I know, that's okay. Let me just finish this and I'll come in. So I've got all the kids home now. It's that time of day. I just was hoping to get another video done before Mum Life kicked in. Six of Wands is our first card with this. Interesting. So immediately I feel like, again, you being on top and being a leader during this time, I do feel like you're very divinely connected. And this, to me, I feel like actually is kind of a key to something. I do feel, again, nature being an asset here for some reason. This is totally coming out really weird. I feel like if you're like an inspiration to others during this time as well. So just by being yourself, and again, it just feels wild and free. It feels different. Like maybe perhaps you've been more controlled. For example, I'll use myself. Like I believe I'm undergoing like my process of seeing if I can get a diagnosis. It's a big weird process. Anyway, being diagnosed with autism, right? So naturally, I will hide a lot of myself from like in social situations, right? So for example, I might be like something with one person because I'm comfortable with them, and I'll be totally different with someone else, and it gets to the point where that's exhausting. Whereas I feel like here this is like you unmasking, taking off the mask and just being your authentic self with everybody, and it feels freeing and inspiring in the fact that you may have feared doing that, and this feels as though actually it'll be inspiring to people around you, and this it being something that leads you towards success. I hope that kind of example helped. Four of Wands and Five of Wands. Interesting. So totally different cards. I do feel as though there's a change coming. The fact we have the 5 here can signify changes. I do feel like there's a change coming. It's kind of really bipolar, this, because it's like good times ahead, but also perhaps some conflicts as well. Remember that you shouldn't always listen to external gossip and worries that are beyond your own personal space, because I believe you have a lot to celebrate and a lot of good stuff in your life. However, if you allow other people's feelings to again affect how you are, especially if you're putting yourself out there, it can make you feel vulnerable. Just one negative comment can have something that will put those walls back up automatically without you even wanting that, and that's us really not protecting our own energy and just realizing that's their trauma, not ours, because I feel like everything is good and golden for you, but if you allow the energy of others to affect you, it's going to cause this kind of conflict, whether it be internal or external. I feel as though it's kind of on the outside of yourself, so be wary of that, other people's dramas. We have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse and Justice in reverse. This is the same. You're very similar to Sagittarius, I think. So if you have that in your chart as well, maybe head there and check that out. So the 9 of Pentacles in reverse is kind of giving me, again, the reminder that you have everything that you need already, but also realize that you are still growing and healing and nurturing and nourishing yourself. I am reading this different, I think, to how I read it with the Sagittarius, but it's what it's giving me. And I do again get this sense of being outdoors in nature can be something that will help you heal and come to this space. but realizing that, things in the past as well have built up to a space where it doesn't serve you anymore, and you need to start looking towards your future and what's presently with you and what you want to bring with you and what you want to leave behind, that kind of thought process. The justice in reverse, I do feel as though you may take to heart other people's opinions. This could really affect your self-esteem. My son is really crying now. It's every time I get to the end of the reading. I don't think he's very well, bless him. Just finishing this reading. Definitely have something to do with, again, your roots and your family. I would say focus on that, and again, don't worry about people that have opinions that don't really impact you. Like, I feel like you may allow it to impact you, but if it's not really relevant, if their opinion's not really relevant, but you're allowing yourself to take on that energy, this is something like some kind of spiritual boundaries you need to be putting up yourself. Well, literal boundaries, sorry, just boundaries in general. And I would say over here, if you feel like that is starting to come in, is to again reground. I feel like you've started this reading off and being very grounded, and over here it feels as though you might lose a little bit of that. So it's being conscious that something may make you like knock you off your feet a little bit, and make you feel as though all of this, you being all powerful and all connected, it could be enough to kind of tilt you a little bit. I don't feel like this is at all negative. It literally over here, we have this little bit of gossip. It feels like literally people who are, when people are jealous and envious of things that you're building for yourself. And it could very much be spiritual. For example, like you really are so in tune right now. If you have other people, friendship circles who are also very spiritual people, sometimes there's always somebody who is not quite there, who has a lot of healing to do, who will be like, oh, they're not very good at what they do, and, slander you to then bring you down because you start thinking all those negative thoughts, because that's exactly what those narcissistic people do. They plant those seeds and let the weeds rot. So make sure that you are not allowing that. But I feel like there's a lot of psychic energy within this. You are the first reading this month that's been very much on that wavelength. So Cancer, yeah, it's looking very good and very strong for you. You may find yourself during this time feeling quite lucky, or that things are going your way or a certain way. And that's because, again, you're in tune, you're following the signs, even if you are not realizing that's what you're doing. I just feel like you're very connected, and following your truth path during this time. So it does feel like a very good read. Just don't let other people rain on your parade. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next month.